This is a re-upload or an update to a video I released a couple of hours ago. It has been edited to take out some wrong information and updated to be as factually correct as possible, and it includes more information. Hello Physical Fiends, it is Jordan here with a video request. Yes, in Monday's Let's Get Physical video, I had quite a few comments about Aero the Acro-Bat collection. There was definitely a strange difference between regions and people wanted a greater explanation, so here I am doing my best to explain the damn thing. In that video, I talked about Limited Run, who opened pre-orders for their Aero the Acro-Bat collection on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5, but a few months prior to that, this was also announced for a European retail release. Now that's not uncommon. Plenty of limited run releases, very thankfully, now get European releases too, thanks to Clear River Games. I don't bat an eyelid when that happens anymore, but I did with this, because there are differences between the two. Some very clear, some not so clear. They're being published by different companies with different marketing that's made people ask many questions. So the elephant in the room is that Limited Run's Physical has 4 individual games. It includes Aero the Acro-Bat, Aero the Acro-Bat 2, Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel, and Aero the Acro-Bat Rascal Rival Revenge. In Europe, however, they have 6 individual games. It has those same 4 as Limited Run, plus 2 Sunsoft games that are now available for the first time in English. You get Feudal Bros Tonosama No. 1, which I personally think is an honorary Choaniki game as a beat-em up, and there's also Justice Ninja Casey, which looks super cool. It seems like a no-brainer to pick up the European version instead, but there are more questions. Despite having fewer games, Limited Run's marketing is a bit more on point. They are really driving home the fact that their release will include the previously unreleased Mega Drive versions of the Super Nintendo games in this package, so 7 games in total. And when I originally released this video a few hours ago, in an overly lengthy way, I did say that Europe would have the Mega Drive versions too. It's in their marketing, and I even directly asked the European publisher. I asked them, can you tell me for sure that you guys have the Mega Drive versions as well? I want to make sure. I don't want to give out any wrong information. And they said, yeah, we have the Mega Drive versions too. Well, that was wrong. Thanks for that. When I originally released this video, the developer of these retro ports quickly got in touch to tell me and explain to me that yes, in fact, the Mega Drive versions of the Super Nintendo games are exclusive to Limited Run games. They will not be in the European version. I apologize for giving out wrong information, it's not what I do, but one would assume the publisher, directly from the horse's mouth, would know. But, well, it seems there's been some behind-the-scenes miscommunication on a massive scale, and I somehow walked into a minefield. And now here I am, it's past midnight, re-editing this video. Thank you, Selector Play. So now the question is, do you want the Mega Drive versions of the games with Limited Run, or do you want the bonus Sunsoft games with the European release? I've heard the Mega Drive versions aren't vastly different from the Super Nintendo ones, mostly slight color differences and musical differences obviously. The gameplay is pretty much the same. There's also been a question about potential emulation differences. Limited Run often use their own Carbon engine to port old games to modern hardware. However, it is safe to say that the emulation between Limited Run and Selector Play's versions, they will be the same. They are all developed by Ratalaika Games, and they will feature the same, features. Rewinds, cheats, save states, filters, galleries, and so on. There will be no difference there. However, because of that miscommunication with the Mega Drive thing, since I published the original video, I've managed to get some more information that may be helpful, so silver linings and all that. While the core emulation is going to be the same, the distribution will not be. In Europe, if you pop your cartridge or disc in, all the games will be in their individual apps. They are the exact same build as the digital release. However, this will not be the case with Limited Run. Limited Run's Physical, all of the games will be collated into one application, a launcher of such, of which I've got some potentially exclusive screenshots of, I don't know. It is different to the digital release. And this may be of interest to trophy collectors because the PlayStation 5 versions will have different trophy sets between regions. In Europe, I was told the PlayStation 5 disc in total, there will be 4 platinum trophies. And again, they will be the same as the digital trophies. There's no stacking. However, limited runs will have its own platinum trophy. However, it is just a singular platinum and it is different from the digital release. So fewer plats, but more exclusive, and something for trophy hunters if you care about that sort of thing. Limited Run are also promising to have a booklet with their release, of which, in Europe, there's been no mention of that. I don't know if that's enough to persuade me to side with Limited Run's 4 games over 6, but I thought it was worth pointing out. How about the release dates? Well, Limited Run will ship it whenever they get around to it. With pre-orders just opening and will be open so for a month, and then taking production into account, you're looking at like 3 to 4 months at a minimum. But they are definitely getting much better about getting things out of the door, especially standard editions like these. The European physical is due for September the 4th. If you want Limited Run's version, you can find it on their website for pre-order right now on Switch or PlayStation 5. If you want to order the European version, and maybe you live in the USA, that might seem a little bit tricky to get. However, if you check the links down below in the description and pinned comment, I have linked to the US-based Lootbox Gaming, who will be stocking the European version. They ship free to the US on orders over $60, and any purchase made via that link helps support me and this channel in the best way possible. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. How about the games themselves? Well, the 4 main games are mascot platformers from the 16-bit era. Some say middle of the road, some say they're a bit underrated. I bet at least one of them was a rental title for you back in the day if you're old enough to remember rental titles. I recall SNES Drunk chose Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel as one of the Super Nintendo's hidden gems. And they are games made by Sunsoft, and Sunsoft were awesome. Alright, they were on a slight downward trend by this point in their history, but still good stuff. And it could be worse, you could be playing Bubsy instead. In Europe, the 2 bonus games, well, the fact that the PEGI rating for those 2 are much higher than the mascot platformers tell me they are a nice cheeky little time. 2 beat-em-ups, slightly different from one another, can be played 2-player and both worth a playthrough if you're looking for something a bit goofy and silly. It's nice to have obscure Japanese releases finally getting an official English release. I wish every Japanese game ever made could be translated to English, good or bad. Anyways, I hope this answered a few of your questions, cleared things up in some way, and helped you decide what is best for you. If you found it useful and you're new here, hit that subscribe button, okay? It will be the best thing you do today, I promise you. I'm very useful if you like physical video games, and please, have a fantastic day. Take care.